because we don't want to keep allowing Putin to weaponize energy against us.
If you had the opportunity to ask the EU Commissioner of Housing and Energy a question, what would it be? I asked him what the biggest challenges are in meeting our target by 2027 to completely eliminate Russian fossil fuel import. And more importantly, in doing so, how do we ensure that we don't move our energy dependency from one fossil fuel sector to another? Basically, how do we avoid that the EU Commission doesn't lock Europe into another fossil fuel dependency when we should really be accelerating a fossil fuel phase out? And this was EU Commissioner Dan Janssen's reply. Thank you so much for meeting up with me, Dan.
So first of all, we're doing this to become independent of Russian gas because we don't want to keep allowing Putin to weaponize energy against us. We don't want to keep filling up his war chest with money buying his gas either. So that's the main reasons. The best thing to do when stopping buying some gas is to replace it with renewables and replace it with energy efficiency measures so that we don't need this gas. But we know, unfortunately, that we cannot do that as fast as we need to get rid of the dependency of Russia. So for some time, we will need alternative sources. In order for us to not risk becoming dependent on somebody else, we are diversifying. So we are negotiating with many different countries and parts of the world whether or not they can help us supplying gas.
And then a follow-up question. Before 2022, we were relying on 45% European import from Russian gas. After the invasion of Ukraine, we have reduced it to about 13%. What is the substitution here? There are many places in Europe where we're also expanding fossil fuel projects in a time where we should be phasing it out.
Yeah, so it's a combination. It's important to acknowledge that fortunately we have managed to replace in some countries with biogas. Other places it's the energy source that's been replaced so that it's renewables. It is also extra import from Norway, the US, and other parts of the world. Our ambition is to go to zero Russian gas, but you have to remember also, of course, that our ambition is to go to zero fossil fuels as such. Last year, the EU imported fossil fuels for over 400 billion euros. It's obvious that it's not good for our economy. What's even worse, it's ruining our climate. So we need to get totally rid of that.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.